Coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6, the general body protesters continue on with their 5th day of living in the Crouse-Hinds building. We have all the new developments.
And Onondaga County is giving away free flu shots. Find out where you can get yours.
Plus, another state has approved same-sex marriage. Find out which one.
And we saw just a touch of snow earlier today, but I'll let you know if we're getting any more in my full weather forecast.
All that and more, Citrus TV News starts
right now.
Welcome to Citrus TV News Live at 6. Today is Friday, November 7th. I'm Amanda Harry.
And I'm John Tomino. Members of the general body are asked to leave Crouse-Hinds. It's our top story tonight. The general body has occupied the Crouse-Hinds atrium since Monday in an effort to fight the lack of transparency and support for diversity from the administration on campus. Their goal, to speak with Chancellor and other administrators. The general body has listed their grievances in a 43-page document, which has been acknowledged by University College Dean B. Gonzalez. And we have Citrus TV's Nick Papantonis at Crouse-Hinds with us right now. Nick, what can you tell us about the protests? Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties right now, but you'll be able to hear from some people at the protest.
We're sitting in, we've come this far because we believe in what we're fighting for, and we're not fighting for this just for ourselves. Nobody likes to sleep in brick floor on brick.
In the small town of Elmira.
If you're looking for some late night entertainment, the Division of Student Activities has just the thing for you. The Midnight Movie Series continues tonight with the movie A Most Wanted Man, and tomorrow night with The Purge Anarchy. Admission and snacks are free. Movies will continue throughout the semester. SU is holding a forum to discuss ways it can better serve veterans and their families. The Fall College's Department of Marriage and Family Therapy will be hosting a meeting this Monday night from 7 to 9. The forum is open to the entire Syracuse community and will take place in Peck Hall on East Genesee Street.
A weekend-long food tasting event is underway today. Experience Q's, hosted by the Connective Corridor, is showing students available transportation and dining options downtown. The event kicked off this afternoon with a food crawl where students sampled meals from 7 downtown restaurants. It continues Saturday night with food specials from Empire Brewery, Lemongrass, Lofo, and more. Anyone with an SUID is welcome. And do you want to see The Girl on Fire on the big screen? Well, you just might get your chance. Orange After Dark released tickets for the midnight premiere of Mockingjay, the 3rd movie in the Hunger Games series. Students lined out the doors of Shine this morning to get tickets to see the film. They are still on sale at the box office for $3. And coming up next, Syracuse has a new graduating class of firefighters ready for duty.
And another state has now approved same-sex marriage. We'll be right back.
New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Learning how to kickflip 6 stairs takes determination. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
You realize that 49 million Americans struggle with hunger? That's 1 out of every 6 Americans.
These people are around us every day. They're our friends, they're our coworkers, their kids go to school with our kids.
Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think, but so is the solution.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper. As a parent, you want to make sure that your child knows how to deal with bullying when they see it happening. And chances are they want to help, but they don't really know how. Teach them that the best thing to do is calmly walk away, find a teacher or other adult, and speak up. And do your part. Be that adult they can talk to and trust will listen. Join me to help stop bullying. Go to stopbullying.gov to find out more.
The Onondaga County Health Department is offering free flu shots on November 19th. The vaccination clinic will be held from 10 to noon and 2 to 4 at the John H. Mulroy Civic Center in downtown Syracuse. Vaccinations will be provided to all Onondaga County residents over 6 months old. No appointment is necessary. Syracuse has its first graduating class of firefighters since 2011. The recruits have spent the past 14 weeks training. There will be 23 graduates, including 2 women. Some of the recruits will begin working as early as Sunday. Graduation will be held at the Palace Theater at 1 p.m.
An ex-Navy SEAL is claiming he's the one who fired the shot that killed Osama bin Laden. In an interview with the Washington Post, retired Navy SEAL Robert O'Neill says he shot and killed the former al-Qaeda leader. O'Neill previously told his story to Esquire magazine, though he remained anonymous until his name was leaked without his consent earlier this week. His account contradicts the story told by Paul Bissonnette in his book No Easy Day, which says the point man on the operation fired the fatal shot. President Obama has announced today that up to 1,500 soldiers will be sent to Iraq in order to train Iraqi and Kurdish forces. This brings the amount of soldiers in Iraq up to 2,900. The deployed troops are not going to be in a combat role, but will be based outside Baghdad and Erbil. The White House also says in a statement that they will request $5.6 billion to fight ISIS. To replace Eric Holder as Attorney General. Loretta Lynch is expected to be President Obama's choice for the position, with the official announcement coming in the next few days. She actually has just been announced as the new Attorney General, so there you go. And she is now the first black woman to lead the Justice Department.
A federal judge in Missouri has ruled the same-sex marriage ban unconstitutional. This comes a day after an appeals court in Kentucky, Ohio, Tennessee, and Michigan all upheld bans on gay marriage. The Supreme Court is likely to review the appeals court decision. The director of the FBI is defending an agent who impersonated an AP reporter. The agent says they asked the suspect to review a draft article about bomb threats and cyber attacks he was accused of, then tracked his computer with a court order. The AP says that using the media as cover for surveillance is unacceptable because it undermines the AP's credibility and promotes government disinformation. The AP sent a letter to the Justice Department asking the government never again misrepresent itself as a news agency. On Thursday night, 2 crewmen died on an Idaho Army National Guard helicopter. The 2 were on a training mission. There is no information on the cause of the crash, and the names of the victims have been yet to be released. The military is investigating the crash site.
Ukraine is accusing Russia of sending tanks into the country's pro-Russian eastern region. According to Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council, at least 32 tanks, 16 artillery systems, and 30 trucks loaded with fighters and ammunition have crossed into eastern Ukraine. Russia's defense ministry has issued no response to the accusations. The bodyguard for late Kim Jong-il is speaking out about his time with the North Korean dictator. According Lee Young-guk, who worked as the Korean dictator's bodyguard for 10 years, says he and others who went through brutal physical and mental training before being considered fit to protect a leader. According to Lee, intense brainwashing made soldiers and bodyguards believe Kim Jong-il was a god. Lee has since escaped to South Korea and believes current leader Kim Jong-un is a crueler dictator than his father.
Benthel could face life in prison after authorities say he sold millions of dollars worth of narcotics on the dark web. According to the FBI, Benthel ran major online drug site Silk Road 2.0 for the past year. The FBI added that the site has over 150,000 active users and a monthly sales topping $8 million. Authorities seized the domain, saying, quote, "This Silk Road, in whatever form, is the road to prison." 1 week after Israel reopened the Temple Mount, Palestinian protesters fought Israeli security forces at the holy site. Protesters threw rocks and Molotov cocktails at Israeli authorities. Police say they fired tear gas to disperse the crowd. The recent conflict began when Jewish nationalists campaigned to regain their right to pray at the which has been illegal for decades. In response, a Palestinian gunman shot one of these protesters, and Palestinian drivers have rammed into pedestrians in the streets of Jerusalem, killing 4 people.
It was chilly out today with temperatures only in the 30s, and you even saw a little sleet, but is that to stay? Citrus TV's Caroline Strange has your full weather forecast. Caroline.
John, yes, as you said right now, there is some snow mixing in with that rain. It's 39 degrees outside right now. And you might think 39, well, that's too warm to be snowing. But it actually feels a little bit closer to 31 due to some rain, some wind coming in at 13 miles an hour. And our humidity is way up because of all that moisture in the air. It's right about 93%. As you can see, though, we're not quite we are one of the coolest places around. Buffalo 37, Albany 41. Across the board, it's really in those 30s and 40 range. As we look across the nation, it's really warm down in the south area and in California and Florida, 80 degrees there. So feels quite a bit different than our 37, 34 range where we are. Now looking at our dew points, we actually have a little pocket of moisture right there that you can't see from the number. And again, over by Albany, keeping it up from that more uncomfortable range. And that's because of the snow that's coming in down from the lakes. There's a little bit of snow. As you can see, that green spot is a little bit of rain. So we do have that coming in. The low pressure system is moving across the northeast right now. You can see little pockets, but there is this bigger storm that's coming. And you can see here on a bigger map how much it stretches over the Wisconsin and Minnesota area, and we do expect that to come down to us. Tonight, however, a 28 low is going to be due to 10 to 15 miles an hour winds, 30% chance of rain. That's going to drop down as we go throughout the night. Tomorrow, there's a high of 45. It's going to be mostly cloudy, not as much rain as that storm hasn't quite hit us yet. Winds, again, 10 to 15 miles an hour. If we look at our 5-day forecast, tomorrow's actually going to be one of the better days of the week. Sunday's got a 40% chance of rain, and it's going to dip down to 28 that Saturday night. We have 49 on Monday. That's going to be probably the best day we'll see for a little while as it dips down to the low 40s with chances of rain on Tuesday and Wednesday.
So, Caroline, you see a lot of rain there on that forecast, but what about snow? Any more winter conditions coming up?
With the forecast that we have right now, it's a little too warm for snow throughout the rest of the week and the weekend. However, tonight's probably going to be our best chance if it still stays cold enough.
Is this about the warmest thing it's going to get from now on?
Probably. It's pretty warm right now compared to how we've seen it. If we go down to Thanksgiving break as we get closer, it's probably only going to get colder and colder as it typically snows pretty heavily over the break.
That's too bad.
We had a good run. Thanks a lot, Caroline. Now we have Citrus TV's Nick Pavantonis in the building to talk about what the experience was like at the General Body Rally. Nick, tell us what was going on over there.
So the university has struck an agreement with the General Body SU to keep them there in Heinz Krause Hall over the weekend. So 40 people will be allowed to stay throughout the weekend, but it is a situation where once you leave the building, that's it, you can't get back in. The lights are pretty much, dimmed, they're shut off, so that there's only the people that are going to be in there is only the General Body SU, the protesters, as well as the DPS officers monitoring the doorways. They're going to allow people to drop off food and water throughout the weekend, but there's no changing it out. So you can't swap out to go shower, you can't go and get, a pillow or anything. Again, once you leave, you're gone. So I've been spending a lot of time with them over the past 24 hours, and they were worried actually that at 5 o'clock they were going to be kicked out of the building altogether or arrested. And so this is actually what one of them had to say.
We're sitting in, we've come this far because we believe in what we're fighting for, and we're not fighting for this just for ourselves. Nobody likes to sleep in on brick floors. We all have classes to attend, we're busy students, but we really believe in our right to have, first of all, these really important services that are life and death that require immediate attention.
So does it seem like the members of the general body are committed to the cause long term? Are they going to want to stay there up until maybe even Thanksgiving break?
Yeah, they are actually. So it's been a bit of a roller coaster of emotions for them over the past 24 hours. They've been very down and out, and then all of a sudden, with the email last night, and then, it was actually more of a festive move when they found out they weren't going to be kicked out of the building. They were going to be allowed to stay. They were, they were singing. They were happy, joyous. So it's been a real roller coaster for the members that are really committed to this cause.
Do you know if they'd stay over Christmas break, over Thanksgiving break, if they are allowed to?
There's no word on that. They're hoping that they're going to be out of the building before then. Dean Gonzalez is actually really committed to getting these negotiations move forward, meeting the demands, kind of getting to a common ground so they don't have to stay. They can feel like they can leave and they can come back. She's actually going to be meeting with them throughout the weekend. She was there when we were there as well, and she's going to really hash out the list of demands tomorrow. You mentioned B. Gonzalez. What else is the SU response looking like to this so far? Right now, it's a pretty tolerant response. They're taking a look at it. Some of the demands have actually already been met in past, in previous semesters. Some of the demands are kind of being fast-tracked right now, so they're looking for certain advisors to disabilities, for example. And then the list has been changing a little bit. They're hoping to get it finalized tonight, and therefore the negotiators will be in there through the weekend, kind of getting down to the details.
All right. Nick Babatonis, thank you so much.
Thank you. Up next, Texas is finally Ebola-free.
And the U.S. jobs report has been released. Find out the results when we come back.